Let's talk about overrated black metal bands. That's right, we're doing a controversial topic. Just did one on underrated bands, so go check that one out, because that's more positive, more fun. And spoiler alert, every single band I'm about to mention, I actually enjoy. There's multiple albums by each band on this list I really like, but I consider them overrated nonetheless. Now, honourable mentions. I did not put Mayhem or Burzum on this list. I know a lot of people would put them on. They're the poster childs of black metal. Really popular, probably the most popular black metal bands. But for me, let's talk about Mayhem. I love Death Crush. I love De Mysterious. I love Live in Leipzig. I love Chimera. That's a great fucking album. That's underrated that no one talks about. And I also love Damon. That's a return to form. Holy shit, Damon's a fantastic album. So I'm not going to pick Mayhem, even though they're big. I wouldn't say overrated. I think they're pretty rated. I think they're pretty good. Burzum, being the black metal band that got me into metal, I love like 7 albums by. I love so many albums by them. Like the first 5. I also love Belus, which is amazing. Fallen's great as well. I like the post-prison stuff as well, and the more ambient stuff. I pretty much like most of the discography aside from the last couple. So yeah, I'm not going to mention Burzum because I actually really love them and him, and most of the albums are good. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the ones I'm actually going to fucking pick. And first up, I'm going to mention, this may trigger people, Gorgoroth. That's correct, Gorgoroth. Now Gorgoroth is a good band. I wouldn't say they're bad, I wouldn't say they're even subpar, they're pretty good. The problem I have with Gorgoroth is it's all just kind of okay. It's all just pretty much just like okay, and there's a few standouts. The albums with Hat and Pest, the first couple of albums, fantastic. I really enjoy them. But even them, pairing them against other Norwegian albums at the time, like as much as I like Antichrist, as much as I like the Gorgoroth, the self-titled album, pitting it against In the Nightside Eclipse, pitting it against Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism, or even for King Laveldi, or literally anything else, just doesn't hold a candle. It just doesn't. It doesn't hold a candle. I do love Hat's vocals, they're fucking amazing, and Pest is an amazing vocalist as well. But once it gets into the Garl era, I kind of zone out. It's kind of just okay for me then, so really there's only 3 albums I really enjoy, and the rest are just kind of, it's pretty good, throw it on, I'll have a good time, but it's not anything special, and it's not anything to, write home about, so I'd consider Gorgoroth pretty overrated, for me personally anyway, but I still enjoy them. So that's the first one of the 5. Next up, let's talk about, I've bashed this band before, Celtic Frost. I loved early Celtic Frost. Morbid Tales, Emperor's Return, Hellhammer stuff, fucking fantastic. I love To Make Ethereum, that's a pretty good album as well, but after that, it just kind of loses me. You get into, like, Cold Lake, Vanity, Nemesis, you got the weird fucking demo, holy shit. Let's talk about that the better. And Monotheist, even that's kind of not amazing to me. Some people say it's the best album, like Jamie, but for me, I don't know, it doesn't really grab me. Morbid Tales is the only one that really grabs me. So this is a band, I've mentioned them before, don't want to rag on them too much, because they're influential as hell to the whole genre, but I feel like it's pretty overrated. There's only one album I really love, and that's Morbid Tales, so to me, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like an overrated band. So popular, so big, but to me, does nothing. Next up, let's talk about Deafheaven. Woohoo, Deafheaven, going for some black gaze throats now. Yep, Deafheaven. One of the biggest bands in the genre. I know a lot of people start screaming saying it's not black metal, but it's a sub-genre of black metal, similar to like Harakiri Analysis, but I love them so much more. So I don't understand how they got so popular, how they got so big, when other bands in a similar genre are just doing it better. I guess this is just a personal preference, but I feel like Harakiri for the Sky just creates songs that are just better to listen to. They're just more well-crafted. Alcest especially, one of my favourite bands of all time, that's in this genre. And they just do songwriting just so much better. I don't understand how Deafheaven's this big thing, but these other bands aren't. Amazur's fantastic as well. There's so many good bands in this genre. I know Satanic will disagree, but there's so many good bands in this genre, so it just baffles me that Deafheaven gets all the praise and none of the others do. So I'm going to say they're overrated. I don't hate them, again. There's not a lot of black metal bands I hate, to be honest. Barely any. In fact, I can't even name one. But, so I'll throw the albums on and I'll be like, this is good. You know, Sunbather, this is good. But I could be listening to, like, anything else. So, to me, that's overrated. Let's talk about Abbath. Abbath is next on my list of overrated, and I love Immortal. Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism is a classic. At the Heart of Winter is a classic. Damned in Black. Blizzard Beast, like, Immortal's fantastic. Even the latest one, Northern Chaos Gods, which Abbath wasn't on, is Demon As, that's fantastic as well. But Abbath's solo career, it's okay. I'd say it's pretty overrated. I know he's headlining festivals, which I'm going to be seeing soon as well, so it feels bad bashing it, but it's just, I feel like it's not as exciting as Immortal or as any other bands. It's just, I feel like it's pretty overrated. I do. There's only a couple of songs on each album that really get my blood pumping, and the latest album, Dreadreaver, is one of the worst of the year. Yeah, last year I put it in my most disappointing albums of the year because I really didn't like it. The sound was weird, just the songs didn't really gel together. I don't know. I don't know if it's just losing the spark, but for me, the three Abbath albums are just kind of okay. I feel like, as a whole, it's pretty overrated. I feel like the Demon As solo album is way better. Oh, way better. But I don't want to pick sides, because I still love Abbath as well, and I love the Immortal stuff. So yeah, for me, Abbath, solo career, it's pretty overrated. And last but not least, let's talk about a big one. Satyricon. Yep, I've never really mentioned them on the channel before, and there's a good reason for that. Because there's a big portion of the discography which I just really don't like. And you know me, I like a lot of black metal. Symphonic, black gaze, atmospheric, you know, I like a lot, but just so generic with some of the albums, and one of the albums especially bored me to fucking tears. Like, it was one of the worst black metal albums I've ever heard. But then they have such a good early career. Shadow Throne, Dark Medieval Times, Nemesis Divinia, all bangers, and then it just fucking shits the bed. It shits the bed, and after that, it's just mediocre. So, yeah, there's 3 good albums, but after that, take it or leave it. It's all just kind of mediocre. So, for me, they are a band that's just pretty overrated. Even though I do love the first 3. And there's a couple of newer ones which are alright. I'll do a ranking for them. Hopefully, I can get more into them, the latest stuff, but at the moment, bleh. So yeah, that's my list of overrated black metal bands. For me personally, I want your guys' opinions down below. Do you agree with this list? Shout at me if you don't. I can fucking take it. I've got thick skin. And I want to hear what you think are the most overrated, because I reckon a lot of people will say Burzum, Mayhem, Immortal, Dissection, probably. There'll be a lot of bands like that which I don't agree with, but that's okay. You might not agree with Gorgoroth or fucking Satyricon. But yeah, there we go. Let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.